Lucasfilm's chief creative officer, Dave Filoni, seemingly has no understanding of the company's biggest IP, Star Wars. The evidence? He doesn't think that Anakin Skywalker ever thought he became evil. What an utterly ridiculous claim. Did you even watch the movies? Before we get to this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. I wrote this up over at thatparkplace.com. And this is what he had to say to Leslie Headland while promoting the upcoming The Acolyte series. Headland said this: "You don't wake up thinking you're evil or that you're the bad guy as explored by George with Anakin. That's absolutely 100% false. This whole idea that people don't know that they've done evil is utterly ridiculous. It's absolute garbage. People do indeed know when they've done something wrong because right and wrong are inscribed on our souls by God. We can recognize what is right and what is wrong. Now, that doesn't mean you can't be blinded to it. That doesn't mean that cultures can't try and make you think that what you're doing is right, even though it is wrong. You definitely can. That definitely can happen." But Filoni then responded and he said, "Yeah, I don't think Anakin thinks he ever becomes evil in life, you know?" And then Headland says, "Yeah, I agree." Or she says, "I agree." What are these people even talking about? Did you watch the movies? Has Dave Filoni ever seen Return of the Jedi? I'm seriously questioning this right now. I don't think this guy has seen Return of the Jedi. That makes sense. If these people haven't seen Return of the Jedi, a lot of the sequel trilogy makes 100% sense. A lot of this crap, this Disney crap that they put out, that actually clicks. They haven't seen Return of the Jedi. Because what happens in Return of the Jedi? When Luke surrenders himself to Darth Vader on the forest moon of Endor, he implores Vader saying, "Come with me." Let's listen. Let's actually listen to it.
"Come with me."
Obi-Wan once thought as you do. You don't know the power of the dark side. I must obey my master.
So he clearly knows what he's doing is wrong. Obi-Wan once thought as you do that I had good still left in me. I clearly don't. You don't know the power of the dark side. It's completely corrupted me. I'm completely evil. I must obey my master. Conversation continues. Let's continue.
"I will not turn, and you'll be forced to kill me."
If that is your destiny.
"Search your feelings, Father. You can't do this. I feel the conflict within you. Let go of your hate."
It is too late for me, son.
It is too late for me, son. He clearly knows what he's doing is wrong, and he's saying it is too late. He's done so many evil actions, he can't be redeemed. It's the big lie that the devil tells you when you have indeed done something wrong. That you can't seek forgiveness. God won't forgive you. And that's the big lie that the devil, the emperor in Star Wars, has clearly told Vader. And he buys into it. He goes on and says the emperor will show you the true nature of the Force. He is your master now. And it just shows that Vader is enslaved to the emperor. He's enslaved to these evil, wicked ways at this point in the movie. However, we get this. After Vader kills the emperor by throwing him down the central shaft of the Death Star, Vader confesses to Luke that he's already saved him. Let's take a listen to this.
Leave me.
No, you're coming with me. I'll not leave you here. I've got to save you.
You already have. Luke. You were right. You were right about me. Tell your sister. You were right.
There you go. You've already saved me, Luke. You were right. He knows what he did was wrong. He is literally confessing what he did was wrong. Now he doesn't confess all the things that he's done. He doesn't confess butchering the children at the Jedi Temple. He doesn't confess hunting down and murdering all the Jedi. It's implied. It's a movie. But he's clearly saying Luke was right. There was still good in him, and he had done a bunch of evil, and he was being evil. That is literally what he's saying in this scene. Clearly, Dave Filoni didn't watch this. I mean, one has to assume he didn't watch it, right? Because he's saying that Anakin never thought he was evil. Well, these two scenes prove that he did. We also have this in Revenge of the Sith. So after the Emperor, or after Anakin chops off Mace Windu's hand and allows the Emperor to electrocute him and cast him out of the building, Anakin exclaims, "What have I done?" Let's listen.
What have I done?
What have I done? And then he falls back. He's so overwhelmed by the evil that he has done. He clearly recognizes he's done great evil. What have I done? He drops his lightsaber. What have I done? He clearly knows what he's done is wrong. But then he submits himself to this evil. Like, let's watch.
You're fulfilling your destiny, Anakin. Become my apprentice. Learn to use the dark side of the Force.
I will do whatever you ask.
Good.
I will do whatever you ask. He's literally submitting himself to him. What's interesting is that there is still the possibility of him rejecting this. He can still say no. But he chooses, not only does he choose to attack Mace, and then he stands by and watches, and he's like, "What have I done? I've committed this great evil." But nevertheless, he then is given the choice to say no to the Emperor, and he doesn't. He chooses to submit himself to him.
Just help me save Padme's life. I can't live without her.
To cheat death is a power only one has achieved. But if we work together, I know we can discover the secret.
I pledge myself to your teachings.
Good.
Look at this. He's so disgusted with himself, he can't even look at Palpatine anymore. He has to look away because he's disgusted with himself. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows he's betraying everything that he once stood for. He knows he is submitting to evil. He gives this fake justification that he wants to save Padme, but he knows exactly what he's doing here. He knows that he is choosing evil. He is given multiple chances to say no, and he says yes every single time to submit to evil. He knows exactly what he is doing here. It's utterly ridiculous for Dave Filoni to claim that Anakin Skywalker does not know that he is choosing evil. Because he does. He absolutely does know. In fact, we have this video from George Lucas with Dave Filoni sitting right next to him describing this scene. What does George say? He says this: obviously, the Sith are always unhappy because they never get enough of anything they want. Mostly, their selfishness centers around power and control, and the struggle is to always be able to let go of all that stuff. And that's the problem with Anakin. Ultimately, is that you're allowed to love people, but you're not allowed to possess them. And what he did is that he fell in love and then married her and then became jealous, and that he saw in his visions that she was going to die, and he couldn't stand losing her. So in order to not lose her, he made a pact with the devil to be able to become all powerful. George Lucas even says that Anakin Skywalker makes a pact with the devil. That is him choosing to make a pact with the devil. He is literally choosing to side with evil. George Lucas is saying this. 2010 with Dave Filoni is literally sitting there right next to him. You can see Dave Filoni sitting next to George. George is telling him that Anakin willingly chose to make a pact with the devil to become all powerful. George obviously goes on and says, but of course, when he did that, she didn't want to have anything to do with him anymore, so he lost her. But he clearly says that Anakin made a pact with the devil. You're telling me that someone who makes a pact with the devil doesn't realize that they're choosing evil and wrong? Ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. Anakin knew exactly what he was doing. We see it in Revenge of the Sith. We see it in Return of the Jedi. It's very clear that he knew what he was doing was wrong. He knew it at multiple points in his life when he clearly submits to the Emperor, makes the pact with the devil, as George says, and then obviously he recognizes all the wrongs that he did when he's talking with Luke there at the very beginning on the Force Moon of Endor, and then obviously after he had just killed the Emperor and threw him down the shaft. So Dave Filoni is completely clueless. This is the guy who's supposed to be running Lucasfilm Creative. There's no hope. There is literally no hope for Lucasfilm at this point. If you can't even get these fundamentals correct, they need a complete overhaul of it. And even then, who knows if it can be salvaged. I mean, this franchise, it's going to get worse. You have people like this at the helm that fundamentally deny what happened in the movies in order to promote this new Disney garbage. Well, let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, but to always speak the truth.